Hello, and welcome to the seminar of cells and cell organelles. Today we're going to talk about the cell organelles and their functions within the cell.
About cells, you need to understand their smallest parts. These are called organelles, and they each have a specific function and structure.
Firstly, let's talk about the cell boundaries. Plasma membrane is the outermost layer, allows water and nutrients in, waste out of the cell. It's made of phospholipids. It controls the movement of substances in and out of the cell. The cell wall is made of proteins in plants. It is an extra layer of defense for the plant cell.
We have entered the cell membrane. The first thing we find is the nucleus. The nucleus is an organelle with a double membrane responsible for holding DNA. To protect the valuable genetic material in the nucleus, the nuclear membrane surrounds the nucleus. It is surrounded by proteins to allow material to enter/exit the nucleus. Both the nucleus and nuclear membrane are only found in eukaryotic cells.
About the cell control structure, where we can find the nucleolus. The nucleolus is found inside the nucleus, where the nucleolus makes ribosome. Ribosomes are made from RNA, and it can be attached to ER or be free in cytoplasm. Its only function is to use information from DNA to make proteins. Another organelle are centrioles. Centrioles are made from microtubules. Two centrioles are paired at a right angle and only one set per cell. Their function is to be involved in the cell reproduction, but are only found in eukaryotic cells.
These organelles don't just float in a cell. No, they are suspended in something called cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the space inside the cell, which contains a gel-like fluid called cytosol. This is meant to hold organelles in place and to be a spot for chemical reactions. Suspended in the cytoplasm is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, or the RER. It is outside the nucleus and is covered in ribosomes. It produces proteins and sends proteins to be modified by the Golgi apparatus. While the cytoplasm is found in both types of cells, only the eukaryotic cells have a rough endoplasmic reticulum.
The cell assembly, which we can find the vesicles. The vesicles are small membrane enclosed sacs or bubbles in the cell. They work in carrying material throughout the cell. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum known as CER. CER is attached to RER and it also has no ribosome. Its function is to produce lipids and send them to Golgi apparatus.
The eukaryotic cell is the Golgi apparatus. This organelle is made of a flattened sac of membranes. Its function is to pack proteins and lipids for transportation. The big empty space also found in this cell is called a vacuole. These are used by the cell to store food, water, proteins, and carbs. These storage units can only be found in eukaryotic cells.
Lysosome is a special vesicle filled with hydrolytic enzymes. The lysosome uses enzymes to digest old organelles and foreign objects. Now let's move on to the energy transformers of the cells, the chloroplast. The chloroplast has a double membrane. It captures light and converts it into chemical energy.
Eukaryotic cell, you can also find the mitochondria. It has a double membrane and has its own DNA. Its primary function is to break down glucose to form ATP energy. This effectively feeds the cell. Also in cells is the cytoskeleton. It is made up of microfilaments and microtubules and can be found throughout the cytoplasm. It helps the cell to maintain its shape and to support the cell. It helps cell moves as well.
Movement. The cilia are made from microtubules. Cilia look like short hair-like fibers on the cell membrane. They are used in prokaryotic cells to move. Glia is another organelle used for movement. It's made from microtubules with long tail-like fibers. It allows the movement of cells in eukaryotic cells.
You may be asking, how do these organelles work together to support the cell? Well, proteins made by the RER with a rough endoplasmic reticulum are sent to the Golgi apparatus by vesicles. The Golgi apparatus modifies these proteins and sends the updated proteins to the cell membrane. The vesicles then turn inside out and release the proteins outside the cell. To recap, cells have important building pieces known as organelles. These organelles work together to perform specific functions. Each of these organelles have a specific structure, too.
For watching our video.